Well, good morning and welcome to VBS Virtual Bible School Day 3. It's Wednesday and we have a great day planned for you, but I am really excited this morning to welcome Caleb and Cathy to our little show. Give them a hand. Woo! So glad you guys are here. Say hi.
Hi.
They said it in unison. I love that. Do that one more time.
Hi.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so we've had a good couple of days of VBS already. We've gotten to see some of you out on the paths, looking at rocks and all that sort of thing. And we have more in store for you today. And what are some of the things that you guys have been seeing when you've been out on the paths?
Well, yesterday we saw a coyote and some prairie dogs.
Ah, yes. So the prairie dogs are all over the place, but the coyote, you don't always see that. So what did you think about that?
It was cool.
You thought it was cool? What about you?
I thought it was cool too.
You thought it was cool too? Yeah. You know, and you're a little smaller yet, so those coyotes might seem a little bigger to you than they seem to me. But yeah, they're out there, and like we said, they will leave you alone. But if you look big and scary, they won't bother you. But yeah, and before I go any further, I want to invite you, if you're watching this morning, to send us a text or say hello on Facebook, and we'll try to say hello back to you. I know Caleb and Cathy would love to hear from some of you, so go ahead and send in a text to say hello. And on Facebook also, we're watching both of those things this morning. And we'll say hi to you as best we can. There we are on Facebook. Okay. So, and it's already turned on. So, guess what? Lily and Rose Nutt say hello.
Hi.
Hello, girls. See, they were sitting here yesterday. Now they're saying hi to you on the other side. Hello. And also, Tanya. Oh, okay. Okay, so Leanna Miller's watching. Hello.
Hi, Leanna.
And Jareth and Davian are watching. This is your chance.
Hi, Davian and Jared.
That's right. You know, Jareth is going to be on tonight, and I'm hoping Davian will too. Hint, hint, hint. Right? That's right. He can do it, can't he, Caleb?
Yeah.
You can do it, Davian. You can do it. Okay. But I'm looking forward to that, and so glad that all of you can be with us this morning. And hey, I just want to let you know a little bit about what today is going to look like. Oh, look, Josiah and Jeremiah have said hello also. Hi, guys. How are you?
Josiah and Jeremiah.
So good to hear from you guys this morning. Okay, well, listen, today we have another focus on seeking Jesus, seeking and exploring our eternal King. And we're going to be actually going into what we call Zone 3, which is the Cotton Creek neighborhood. It is just south of 112th Avenue, and I will show you full screen what we're talking about here. There at the top of your screen would be 112th Avenue, and there is actually some of the paved trails that you were on the last 2 days connect to this. There is a wide concrete sidewalk that was part of one of our earlier zones, and that actually goes underneath 112th Avenue. You won't actually have to cross the street. And it goes into there's a fork in the road there, and we have rocks hidden on both of those. And I'm going to show you here in person. Right up here, north of here would be the church, and then you would go under 112th, and then right here you can either follow the rest of the Big Dry Creek Trail and all the way over to Sheridan Boulevard, or you can come over and go sort of on a gravel path around the back sides of some houses, and then you'll pick up an asphalt path that has trees and a little creek in there, and we have a lot of rocks hidden in there, and that one has shade trees all over the place. It's very pretty, so you can get out of the bright sunlight, you can find the rocks. It's all uphill. It's all uphill going in, and there are some closer in parking areas. You can park at the Cotton Creek Park there, as you see, and there are also a couple of other parking areas that aren't labeled. There is of course, a fire station right here with some parking. And then across the street, across 112th, there is a Jewish Shabbat house. Don't park there, but there is a parking lot for the trail not far from that you could also park in. And then you would have to cross 112th using the crosswalk. So if you don't want to park at the church and have the extra steps, if you want to save yourself a few steps, those are some things that you can do to save your steps. And guys, we have some bonus treasures to be looking for while you're out on that trail today. And do you know what that is? Do you remember?
Raspberry bushes.
Raspberry bushes. That's right. There is a grouping of raspberry bushes right alongside the asphalt trail up here in Cotton Creek. And keep your eyes open. I wouldn't have even known what raspberry bushes looked like, but my wife knew what they looked like, and they are actually starting to pop some raspberries out right now. So, and those are just out there. They don't belong to anybody per se. So, enjoy. The other thing you're looking for is a garden trellis. It's sort of a wire archway over somebody's gate. So those are two things that you can be looking for special and take pictures of if you find those today. And Miss Heidi and I will be out on the trails a little later on with our Super Soaker to say hello to you. Don't worry, I won't squirt you unless it's okay with you. But I look forward to seeing some of you out on the trail. I got to see some of you out there yesterday, and that was a lot of fun. And you know, guys, I don't think we're going to see any coyotes in there today.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. I don't even think we're going to see snakes in there today.
Yay.
Yay, I know.
Yay.
Who's excited to see snakes? Yeah, you are. You're excited to see snakes? I'm not really excited to see snakes. Not really, no. So yeah. So guys, what are some of the crafts projects that you guys have done?
Oh, we made our water bottle holder yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, good. Does it work okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the day before, we made the sun visor.
Oh, the sun visor. That's right. That's right. You made the sun visor because you knew you were going to be out in the sun. Well, listen, today you're going to be making a magnifying glass, and all the materials for that are included in your little kit that you have. And it's just a toy magnifying glass. It won't actually magnify anything, but it's kind of a fun thing to have. Kind of like Casey carries a magnifying glass. You'll have one now too. And we have a couple of other things for you guys to do today too. I saw pictures of some of you pulling weeds yesterday. That was yesterday's service project. And I thought that was really cool. It was great to see that. And I saw some of the encouragement cards that some of you made also. Today's service project is really simple. Are you ready? Here it is. Do the dishes. That's right. Clean the kitchen. Clean the kitchen for mom and dad. Just take that job off their hands. Tell them to sit back and drink some lemonade, and you can clean the kitchen for them. And that can be your service project today. And I was just talking to Caleb and Cathy. You guys, how often do you clean the kitchen?
Every night.
Every night. So it's going to be like really easy for you guys, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, so who sets the table?
I do.
And who clears the table?
I do.
And who washes the dishes?
I do.
Do you guys have a dishwasher?
Yeah.
Yes.
So does one of you load the dishwasher?
No.
No? Okay, all right. But, and you clean the table off and all that good stuff? Mm-hmm. All right, that's a high five. There we go. All right, that's very good. So that is today's service project, and there is a special Bible reading also that I'd like you to do today. It's John chapter 3, verses 14 through 21. Just read that sometime today and be thinking. And, I want to actually talk about some of what's being mentioned in this Bible passage today. So we're going to spend some time doing some Bible verses. Is that all right? Mm-hmm. Good. I'm glad you said that. Okay. We're going to read from Numbers chapter 21, verses 4 and 5 to start us off with. Actually, we're going to go all the way through verse 7. And did you want to read it? Mm-hmm. There you go, buddy.
Numbers 21, 4 through 5. They traveled from Mount Hor along the route to the Red Sea to go around Edom. Mm-hmm. But the people grew impatient on the way. They spoke against God and against Moses and said, "Why have you brought us out of Egypt to die in the desert? There is no bread, there is no water, and we detest this miserable food."
All right. Good job, Caleb. And yeah, so I don't know if you didn't hear him really clearly, basically all what was happening here is the Israelites were complaining. Does God like complaining?
No.
God doesn't like complaining, does he? In fact, can you think of a Bible verse where he tells us not to complain?
Do everything without complaining or arguing.
Philippians 2:14, you guys are amazing. That's awesome. That's right. God does not like complaining, because when we complain, we are not putting our eyes on what we should be looking at. We should be looking at what God has done for us and how good he is. But here in this passage, they were whining and complaining, and oh, why did you bring us out of Egypt? And why don't we have the food that we like? And all we see is this manna, and there's no water, and I hate this food. And God heard enough of that he just had enough of it. So it says in Numbers 21:6 that the Lord sent venomous snakes among them, and they bit the people, and many Israelites died. And the people came to Moses and they said, "Oh, we sinned when we spoke against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take the snakes away from us." So Moses prayed for them. Okay? And then the Lord gave him kind of an unusual job to do. God said to Moses, "Make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at this snake and live." So Moses made a bronze snake and he put it up on a pole. And then when anyone was bitten by a snake and they looked at the bronze snake, they lived. Now, the reason we're talking about this today is because, well, I want to share something with you. Now, how many of you have seen an ambulance, or you've been to a hospital or a doctor's office and you've seen this symbol right here? Have you seen this? I know your mom has, right? Okay, now this over here is what the bronze snake possibly might have looked like, okay? And I'm going to show this to you full screen because I want you to get a good look at this. Now, this symbol that we see for medical profession and that sort of thing is called the rod of Asclepius. And don't ask me if I pronounced that correctly because I don't care. But Asclepius was evidently a mythical, make-believe, fake god of healing. And I don't remember whose mythology that was, but a god of healing. And so the medical profession says that they've based that on that guy. But look at these two pictures, because I don't think that's where it comes from at all. If you look at the snake on the pole, first of all, what shape is the pole?
A cross.
It's a cross, isn't it? Now, we maybe don't know for sure that the pole was a cross, but if you think about it, it makes sense that the snake would have had something to hold on to there up at the top, okay? And so you see this snake wrapped around a pole, and when people looked at it, they were healed. And then you see this medical symbol with a snake wrapped around the pole, and the medical profession, their job is to help people to heal. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think that's what that really comes from. And I also don't think it's a coincidence that you see a red cross either. So just a little thing that I wanted to point out to you there. But anyway, there's something else that snake on a pole looks like. One of you mentioned it earlier. What does that look like over there?
Jesus dying on the cross.
It looks like Jesus dying on the cross. That's a high five. That's right. It was kind of a preview. Moses was giving the people a preview. God told Moses to do this, to give people a preview. Look up at this and you will be saved. It wasn't that they were looking at a snake. That's not what saved them. It's that they were doing what God said. Look up at this thing and do what I've said and you will be saved. And that brings us, guys, to Hebrews 12:2. Do you want to read that one?
Sure.
Okay, it's up there.
Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God.
Awesome. That's right. As Caleb just said, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of God. Here's what I want you guys to be thinking about today, because this story about the snake on the pole, that may seem a little strange to you, but God had a reason for that. It wasn't just to heal the Israelites. It was to give us a preview of Jesus. And I want you to think about this today. Ask yourself, have you lifted up Jesus in your life? Moses lifted up this pole with the snake on it, and people would turn their eyes up to that and they would be healed. But have you lifted up Jesus in your life? Has Jesus been lifted up in your heart? And that's something I just want you to think about. We're going to talk more about this on tonight's little broadcast when we have Jareth and maybe Davian with us. But think about that today. Is Jesus something that I am looking up to? Is it the highest thing in my life? Have I lifted it up above my video games or my sports or my hobbies or the things that I like? That's what I would like us all to be thinking about today. Is Jesus lifted up in our life? And you don't have to answer that today. That's a question between you and God. I think it's really easy for us to kind of forget Jesus, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes the things that are going on down here in the world, we might be worried about COVID. We might be worried about all the things that are going on in our country right now. And we might wonder, well, is this all going to turn out the way that I want it to? And God says, that's not what you're supposed to be putting your attention to. You do what you can for the world, but you're supposed to have your attention on Jesus. You're supposed to have your attention on Jesus. And Caleb and Cathy, I want to confess something to you. I really believed we would be able to do our regular VBS. Up until a few weeks ago, I thought it's going to be okay and we'll be able to do VBS. And then it just became clear that we couldn't. And I have to be honest with you, I'm disappointed. I was disappointed that we weren't able to do VBS. And I was feeling like, well, okay, we'll do something. We'll do this thing that we're doing now. But it's going to be such a poor substitute. And I have to tell you, God has been teaching me through this, because I've seen the way you guys have been participating, all of you guys. You've been out there on the pads in the hot sun, all with great attitudes, looking for these rocks and having fun, and you've been doing the crafts, and you've been sending pictures, and you've blessed me more than I can say. And God reminded me yesterday that even though this is plan B for me, it's plan A for God. This was his plan all along. And I'm telling you that because I hope that will bless you too. We aren't getting to do the things the way that we maybe want to do them right now, but we're doing what God has set out as his plan A. This was his original plan. This is what we need. And we need to rejoice in that. And so I want to thank you guys for helping me to do that. And I want to thank you guys for helping me to do that. Because I have to tell you, I'm really having fun with all of this, and I'm loving this. So thank you guys. And speaking of things that I'm loving, is we have a few more people to say hi to. Should we say hi to a few more people?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Andrea is watching. Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
And so is Hayden, and Mr. Johnny is watching.
Hi, Mr.
Johnny
Johnny.
Coleman. Hey, buddy. And also Timothy and Faith are watching. Hello.
Hi.
And Timothy and Benjamin Parrish are watching.
Hi, cousins.
That's right, cousins. And Leanna Miller, of course, is watching. And Malachi and Gideon.
Hi, Malachi
They were
and
here just
Gideon.
last night. Hey, boys. You got any more good belches for us, Malachi? All right. I don't know. We'll see. And the Avalov family says hello. So Miss Ava and Aiden are watching also. And just thank you, all of you, for doing this. I love you guys, and I'm very much enjoying being able to connect with you. And let's just lift up our Lord and Savior today. Let's lift him up all week. Let's lift him up in our lives. So as we go about all of our crafts today, and all of our service projects, and all of our story treasure hunts, and I have no idea what you were just saying. Psalm. Thank you. Thank you. We have a song. I have someone right off camera telling me, you're forgetting something. I'm just saying, let's lift up Jesus. Let's lift him up right now as we put up a little song for you. Stop, drop, and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll. Just remember this little game. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll to quench the fire of sin. What do you do when sin has caught you? When you feel the burn in the flames? Don't give up and don't give in. Just remember this little game. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll to quench the fire of sin. Stop what you're doing and drop and pray. Roll through the Bible, then you gotta obey. That's how you stop, drop and roll. That's how you stop, drop and roll. That's how you stop, drop and roll to quench the fire of sin. Stop what you're doing and drop and pray. Roll through the Bible, then you gotta obey. That's how you stop, drop and roll. That's how you stop, drop and roll. That's how you stop, drop and roll to quench the fire of sin. Let me see you stop. Hey, 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 hey. Now let me see you drop. Hey, 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 hey. Now let me see you roll. Hey, 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 hey. And let's do it again. Let me see you stop. Hey, 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 hey. And let me see you drop. Hey, 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 hey. And let me see you roll. Hey, 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 hey. And let's do it again. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll to quench the fire of sin. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll. You gotta stop, drop and roll to quench the fire of sin. To quench the fire of sin. To quench the fire of sin.
Well, all right. I hope you'll all stop, drop, and roll to quench the fire of sin. And as we said, lift up Jesus in your heart and in your life today. And with that, we are just about done. I do want to say hello to the Montgomery family who texted in just under the wire to say that they were watching. And I'm glad to hear from you guys today. I hope to see you out there today. And Caleb and Cathy, was there anything else?
No. No.
No? Nothing? I asked Caleb if he was going to do a dance, but he didn't want to do a dance. All right. Well then, with that, I'm inviting people. That's right. Hey, listen, it's not too late to get involved in virtual Bible school, even in the weeks ahead, because all of these broadcasts will be saved on our website. So we still have plenty of packets and everything for you, and the rocks should still be out there. So please go ahead and continue inviting your friends, neighbors, and whatnot to participate in virtual Bible school. They can start today or even a week or two from now. It'll still all be there. So we invite you to do that. Well, I've had a good time this morning. Have you guys had fun? Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Well, let's go have a good day. And so from us to you, let's look at them and say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. We'll see you out there. We'll see you out there on the trails. Have a great day and lift up Jesus today.